you go, I just wanted to explain this video and why I made it. So basically, what happened is, in Christmas of 2020, my parents noticed how much I did want a pony. So they got me a pony on loan from a riding stables, and her name was Lucy. And what they didn't tell us is that she had like a weak tendon in her front left foot, so she was prone to going lame. So after a few months she did go lame. We weren't even supposed to be loaning her for that long, but my mum just saw how much I loved her, so they let me keep her for a few more months. And so she went lame, so I was able to loan a different pony called Donut, who just wasn't right for me, who is now my friend's pony. But anyway, so I started loaning I think he was 14-2, skewbald cob called Pumbaa, who was lovely but just not right. But I did have so much fun on him. Like, he wasn't like my pony, he wasn't like my dream pony, but he was such a good boy and I did love him so much. I also got my first Lemure set when I was loaning him, and I was so happy. I think it was my first one. Yeah, it was. Anyway, so next was Alfie. I was ponyless for a few weeks, I think, and then my instructor messaged my mum and she said, "Oh, we found this pony that Liv might want to loan, blah blah blah." So we went and tried him out, and me and Alfie just clicked. So I loaned him for about a year. Yeah, a year. And then unfortunately he was sold, because he wasn't right for the people who owned him, because he would just buck and they weren't as experienced as myself. They were experienced, but they had been riding for a year. One of them had been riding for a year, but I've been riding for coming 8 years, so I could handle him, but they couldn't, so they sold him. They were keeping him for me in the end, and it was just extra cost. So they sold him, which is a fair point. They don't just want to be paying, because we had him on loan for free. And then I was ponyless again, and then my instructor, she's such a lifesaver, she's so nice, found a pony called Bonnie who was up for loan. So I tried her out, and I think I did rush into her because I was so desperate for a love like Alfie, because at the start she was not in season, but she does go in season quite frequently, which is very annoying. And I didn't know that, obviously, at the start, so I was like, oh, she's the right pony for me. Mum, I want this one, I don't want any other ponies, like, this is the pony for me. So we started loaning her, and we've had some, like, ups and downs, like, especially her going in season. That is the worst. Like, there's been plenty of tears with Bonnie, but that's all part of life, I suppose. So there was this point where we could never catch her from the field, and we were like, Bonnie's owner's name, we are stopping loaning her, she doesn't let us bring her in. So then Bonnie's owner was like, oh, well, why don't you come later in the day, because then she'll want to come in because she's had enough time in the field. So we tried that, perfect. And until like around now, she has been awful to catch again at any time of the day. And she bolted with me, which I find bolting terrifying. It's happened twice, and now I am really scared to gallop, because it's just the fear of losing control. And I am building myself up. I just would like to do it in an enclosed area, if you know what I mean. Somewhere that I know, like at Bonnie's new yard where she's moving to, there's like a cross-country field that also acts as a field. So I could ride her in there quite frequently, which means she wouldn't bolt off with me. And I could do some cross-country jumps, which are homemade and very good. But anyways, so at the moment, I haven't seen her for about 6 weeks because she's moving yards, and the yard owner just doesn't like me and my mum, and she banned us for bringing my cousin up to the yard because we can't just leave her at my house alone. That's like a valid point. So we are waiting for her to move, which is on the 30th of September when I see her again. She's actually moving on the 29th of September, but she is we're moving her stuff and seeing her again on the 30th. So yeah, I'll see her then. So basically that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you guys. We'll be making better edits soon. Bye, love you.